All right, good evening, everyone. Today is good Monday evening, everyone. I hope all of you are doing good this Monday after evening. So first off, if all of you can hear me loud and clear, please type in the chat. Just type in one word. How are you feeling today, this Monday evening? Just let me know how you're feeling, okay? So I don't know if you guys been following the news today. Literally just like 30 minutes before our live, right, there was a news that came out that says that OpenAI and AMD just formed a partnership to invest over 100 billion, multi-billion dollar worth of deal. And now AMD is up by over 20% in pre-market. It has breached its $200 share price. So pretty crazy news. And I think it ties in very, very nicely to what I'm going to share today. Is I think it's a term that all of you would have been very familiar with, which is the AI stock bubble. Okay, so I think this is something that all of you would have heard one way or the other lah. So I see Mike Low, nice to see you, and Andy. So the rest of you, for those of you who are here, please type something in the chat lah. Okay, so that it won't be like me talking to myself lah. Okay, so I want to see like who is in the chat. Just type hi in the chat so I know that you are there. I was just sharing about how there has been a latest news just now about the AMD and OpenAI partnerships and how the AMD is rallying. So I think today and possibly for this week, we'll probably see some continued momentum. But also take note that there will not be any economic data that we will see this week and next week because of the government shutdown. All right. Now, okay, hi, I see you, Lee Wen, Trisha, Demure, Mangosteen, Karen, Manford. Good evening, everyone. Now, without further ado, let me get started on today's sharing, okay? Now, so this AI stock bubble, let me tell you guys, I think that when all of you see the word bubble, how many of you start to get a bit scared? If you see the word bubble and you start to get a bit scared, right, can all of you type me? Okay, I will be 100% honest with all of you. When I also see the word bubble, right, just scared one. Right, because when was the last bubble that we heard about? It was the dotcom bubble. It was the financial crisis, which was also a property bubble, right? So now, especially when we see a lot of investments in the AI space, right, there's a lot of talks about it, another bubble. Especially you can see all money like flowing around like nobody business, stock market rallying like nobody business. And when you take a look at the news, right, this is what we are seeing now in the market. You're seeing all kinds of media outlets. You see CNBC. The bubble in people searching for AI bubble has to burst. How investors can think about the potential AI market bubble? Why fears of a $1 trillion AI bubble? So you start to see all of these strong words being thrown out, the narrative that there is a bubble around. Okay, CNBC again, how investors can think about the potential AI bubble. No idea why MSN and CNBC, maybe it's the same article lah, right? And when it's not all just media outlets, one of the chairman of the top company in the world, one of the Max 7 companies, also said this, which is Jeff Bezos, guys, chairman of Amazon, founder. Now he's not the CEO, he's the founder, but he's a chairman. AI is in an industrial bubble. Okay, but he also said society will get gigantic benefit from the tech alone. So you can see, even he is saying that there is an AI bubble. And let me tell you that this has been said for the past few months, right? The past few months, and in fact, during this year, during the Trump tariffs, we have also started to hear this AI bubble. And maybe even earlier, right? If you remember when the ChatGPT started, it was actually back in 2022. So since then, right, AI, large language models have jumped leaps and bounds. Guys, I was even looking at this AI tool called Sora AI, SORA, SORA. Guys, this is damn wild, I know if you're on TikTok, if you're on if you've seen it, you guys will see that there are like crazy one at the things that they generate. It's like they can actually generate real humans in different instances and events. So it's getting more and more advanced. If you all go scroll TikTok, you all will know exactly what I mean. On my TikTok, right, while I was scrolling, right, so I like wrestling lah. So since young, I've been watching wrestling. Now not so much, but I still keep watch. And you know, there are a lot of wrestlers that already retire or pass on. And now my TikTok are showing that these wrestlers from before, right, it's like they come back, you know, they have grown up and they have come back, and the videos are like, oh, this wrestler has returned from the dead, all that kind of things, you know. And it becomes harder to differentiate whether is it real or is it fake. Okay, so the whole idea I'm sharing with you here is how advanced it is. Okay, now let's move on. And not just news. You can look at this as well. Okay, look at what the videos are saying, YouTube videos. Okay, so you can see these are all the, if you just search AI bubble, you will see that a lot of videos will come out about everything. AI bubble is about the birds, everyone talking about the AI bubble, Trump stupid VC takeover, how AI became the new .com bubble, right? All of these news are coming up and up, you know. And if you look at the VC side, okay, what is this VC side? Which is the number of money that is being poured to AI infrastructure, right? It is crazy, right? You can see it's on an exponential curve upwards as compared to whatever other industry, mobility tech, climate tech, so on and so forth, right? So you can see that all the money are being poured, as evident from the news that we see today. Okay, so for those of you who are here already, okay, what I'm sharing with you now is about how the media is all talking about this thing called the AI bubble and things like that. So again, for those of you who just joined, if the word bubble you see kind of scares you a little bit, just like me, hey, don't be afraid. Be honest with yourself. I'm also honest with every one of you here because I got nothing to hide from all of you, right? We are all humans. We are not like immortal or what. They have no feelings one. Okay. Now, on top of these AI deals, right, the money is being poured into it, right? What are we seeing? This one I tell you, this is circling around Twitter. I tell you, when you read this, as an investor, you confirm scared. Confirm one. Right, you ask any investor, they tell you they're not scared, they're lying to you, man. I see that, I was like, wow, sure not. Right, US market valuations are above the 2000 dot-com bubble peak. Now everyone is in disbelief because the moment when this happens, this news probably came out already. Then it go up, right? After it went back down. After this is the Trump tariff time. Then now it's even higher than before. Then everyone say, oh no, we're going to have a crash. A dot-com bubble is coming. Then, oh no, I feel like the world is going to end, right? So these are what we are seeing now, okay? And like you guys see, right, the dot-com bubble, okay? So what actually happened during the dot-com bubble? I'm pretty sure some of you might have actually went through it. You guys saw what happened. For me, it was when I was about 9 to 10 years old, the dot-com bubble. So I didn't really understood what was going on. I didn't really feel anything. Okay, during the dot-com bubble in 2000s. So I went to read up. So this is for those of you who don't know exactly what happened, or for those of you who know what happened during the dot-com bubble, right? Take this as a recap. So what happened for the dot-com bubble is actually started back in 1996. Okay, it all started with Yahoo. Right, Yahoo. You know Yahoo, the last time it was Google's competitor, right? Then you all know the slogan, Yahoo, that kind of something like that. For those of you, you all confirmed to remember. So it's a bit of a throwback. And we started to see a lot of news coming out. You know, Alan Greenspan warns of irrational exuberance. Amazon goes public, 1997. And you started to see a lot of dot-com bubble coming out. A lot of companies that just says .com or just appear. Okay. And then this company, AOL, agrees to buy Warner, second largest acquisition. Amazon were then below 250, will hit $400 within a year. Wow, crazy, man. And then the whole market just rally like crazy. 2000s, all-time high in NASDAQ. Then what happened after that? We started to see things going down. We started to see the whole market started to crash. From 2000, crash all the way. Guys, this is a 2-year bear market. Guys, a 2-year bear market. Even our latest bear market was just 1 year in 2022. Okay? Now, so then the question is, after we see all this news, right, it begets the question, right? Are we in an AI bubble? Okay? Now, if you are Wondering this, if you want to hear my thoughts on this, if you are ready to hear what I think or whether we are actually in an AI bubble or not, can all of you type AI in the chat. This is also for me to know that you are here with me, that I'm not talking to myself alone. Okay, so if you are here with me, if you want to hear my thoughts on what I think, whether this is a bubble or not, just type AI in the chat. And towards the end of this session, there'll be a part for Q&A as well. So if you have any questions, feel free to just drop and ask me later. In the meantime, halfway through I'm presenting, you have any questions, just feel free to just send it in the chat as well. Okay, now, so this was also the VC one, but this was just back in 2000s. You guys can see, right, the number of deals that were coming in back in 2000s. And this is also similar to what we are seeing now, right? The investments to AI, the chart that you saw just now. So the 2000 stack bubble, right? To share with you what actually happened, let's dive in a bit deeper from just the charts of what you saw. So in 2000 stack bubble, right, there were a lot of dot-com companies coming out. Okay, and some of the best companies in the world actually came out from there. Amazon was one of the more prominent ones, right? But you know, the media started to share all of this hype because last time, right, the internet was something big, was something new. It was like the shiny object that everyone was looking for. Okay, imagine like last time everyone was doing things manual, was doing things like the industrial revolutions, manufacturing, and suddenly you hear the word internet. Right, remember the dial-up machine, right? That you have your phone, no one can answer the phone before you can go into internet. These were the talk of the town. And people, as long as they see the word .com at the end, even for companies with no profits, no proper plan, no product, people just buy in. And stocks, right, they were just doubling for no reason, just because of hype. Okay, now by the time even to the point where some people even share on forums that their taxi driver, when they go to a taxi driver, their neighbors were giving them stock tips. If you don't believe me, you go Reddit and you go and read people who have been through the dot-com bubble. Those were people who were saying it like that. They were discussing with their neighbors, they were discussing with their taxi driver, their people working in the restaurant about these kind of dot-com companies. But you see, what actually some examples of what happened was some companies. First of it was pets.com. Right, wow, perfect name, pets.com some more. So actually IPO in 2000s, they were online pet supply store. And they went famous for this sock puppet mascot. They were using mascot at the time. So they went public in early 2000. And by then, they became one of the most recognized dot-com brands. Okay. Now, after less than 9 months, guys, less than 9 months, gone. Money all burned. And you know how much they raised or not? Guys, they raised $82.5 million. 82.5. In today's context, this 82.5 million is like 500 to $1 billion, 500 million to 1 billion. So that's crazy. And in just 9 months. So this is one of them. Another one is this company called eToys. Okay. eToys as well. Right. IPO also in 2000, within 9 months, went bankrupt. It's like Toys R Us. Last time Toys R Us is brick and mortar store. eToys was like the online Toys R Us, right? 9 months go bankrupt. Also same thing. Now there's also this Webvan, right? It's a grocery delivery startup promising 30 minutes delivery through their high-tech warehouse. They raised nearly $800 million, which at that point in time gave them a $4.8 billion valuations, right? So they scaled too fast without product market fit, and within 2 years, they went bankrupt. Now, what is the commonality between all of these companies, apart from just them having dot-coms? Now, this is important for us to understand because we want to understand, right? Apart from just people saying it's a dot-com bubble and an AI bubble, apart from just that is just the surface things people are using to scare you, right? Just a surface thing. But what are the main differences, or are there any differences? That is what we are investigating. So these are the financial statements of the tech companies that you saw during the dot-com bubble. So remember pets.com, right? So you look at the financial statements, we run through it very quickly. Now there's a lot of numbers. Don't worry, I'll show it to you. Most important thing, right? You just have to focus on 2 numbers. Number 1, the net sales. What does net sales mean? It means revenue. Simple as that. So this is the revenue that the company was generating at the end of the quarter ended June 30, 1999. Now, the next thing I want you to focus on is net loss. This is $3.5 million. Now, to put in proper terms, your sales, right, is $40,000. You are losing $3.5 million. Close to 10 times. So this is the two numbers. Okay, bracket means negative. That's why you see a bracket. Now let's move on to the next quarter. Okay, net sales, $500,000. Net loss, $15.8 million. Look to the next quarter again. Net sales. Now the sales suddenly you see 10 times. Suddenly, wow, revenue is 10x. This company will go to the moon. $5 million. But look at how much losses they are making. $42 million. Their losses of every quarter is close to 10 times of their revenue. You can see it's massive. And their losses are increasing at an exponential rate, way faster than their revenue is increasing. So this is bets.com. Now another one, this is etoys.com. This is even worse. You can see in 1997 to 1998, they were not making any money at all, but they are really losing money. $2.8 million, okay, $12 million, and you look at the 6 months, June, ended June 30th, started to make $395K, but their losses has already 10 times to 35 million. So for those of you who prefer to see graphs, basically all of the companies that you saw during the 1999 bubble, right? The number, the graph, the operating income, their losses look something like this one. Every single year, every single quarter, they are losing more and more money. Okay? More and more money every single year. So this is what is happening during the tech bubble. Now, the question is, okay, now we know, right? During the tech bubble, the dot-com bubble, this is what will come, the companies that were there, that were launched. Now, let's look at the tech companies today leading what people are saying is the AI bubble. Okay, this is important. Okay, these are the what we call the Magnificent Seven for those of you who don't know. Okay, the Mag 7 companies. Let's take a look. Okay, similarly, right, if the tech companies of the dot-com bubble are making losses, right, we want to compare and think that, okay, are the tech companies leading the AI bubble now because they are the ones spending the most, right? Are they losing money? So let's take a look. Now, first one, NVIDIA, free cash flow. Free cash flow basically means the actual cash that they generate. That means after all your operating income, even all the way at the last line, the last line of defense, the actual cash that you actually have, which is basically the cash that you have in your bank account and my own bank account, this is free cash flow. Look at NVIDIA's free cash flow. Positive $72 billion. Okay? Let's look at Meta's free cash flow. $50 billion. So it's positive, NVIDIA and Meta. Let's look at Amazon's free cash flow. 13 billion. Okay, 2021, 2022, negative. They burn something. They do the acquisition and they burn money. But look at 2023, 2024, and currently. Positive free cash flow. That means they are not losing money. They are profitable companies. Next, Google free cash flow. $66 billion right now. So, then the question you start to ask in your mind, okay, the AI bubble, right? What people are saying, okay, I just say the word AI bubble so it's easier to relate the differences. You can see that the companies of today that are leading the AI revolution in a way, they are spending a lot. Yes, that is true. But they have a lot of money in the bank. It's not like they are spending and loaning money from somewhere else. If they are doing that, I tell you, I will be very, very concerned. I will be so scared. But they are spending and they have money. Okay? As compared to companies like this during the dot-com bubble. They are spending, but they have no money. They are not generating. Okay? So, can I check, can all of you guys see the difference between companies in the dot-com bubble and companies today or not? If you guys know what I'm talking about, I can see the difference, type yes in the chat. Okay? So because everyone, when you look at what people say, right, you must remember that when whatever articles you see online, what is the main purpose of these articles? is to get views, is to get exposure, because they are being paid when more people see their articles, right? Even for tweets, what people write. If you write more things that will scare people, you incite fear, that gets more views, right? That has been the case for how many thousands of years? It has always been the case. So what basically is happening is the media is not telling you the full picture, right? They're not saying that, okay, actually the tech companies last time, they are not profitable, but the tech companies now, they are profitable. They are not saying that. Okay, so this is the biggest difference, right? That the tech company, they are unprofitable. But now companies spending on the AI, in the AI time nows, they are profitable. Okay, so what is my takeaway over here? It's simple. We are not in an AI bubble. That is what I am saying. Okay. Now, there are a few layers to this. Okay. Why do I say there's a few layers? Because number one, being in a bubble, right? To draw comparison to .com, right? Okay. People are saying it's the .com, right? It's totally different. Because during the .com bubble, companies are unprofitable, like I shared. But right now, in today's days and age, companies that are spending are profitable. Okay, that is the main difference between the two. So we cannot just look at the media news. We cannot just look at what they say and deem that we are in an AI bubble. And the worst thing is, you guys decided not to do anything. You guys decided to stop investing in the stock market. You guys decided to cash out everything. That would be the worst thing to do. Okay. Now, you might ask me, okay, Bjorn, now I know the difference of how to see an unprofitable company and a profitable one. So then the next question is, okay, how can I find these companies? Okay, so if that is you, you are asking the right questions, because my good friend and my partner Rachel, she's running a free Buffett Accelerator framework tonight, okay, and tomorrow, okay, and it's happening from 8 to 10 p.m. Okay, it's going to happen tomorrow. So what I'm going to share with all of you is this will actually help you to understand how to spot these two different kinds of company, the exact process for how we used to identify a great company, but adapted to today's market, right? That means not like we look at the AI bubble and we base on that, and we base on today, right? Everything that is happening with all the AI news, how do we spot today's company, including how to use options, right? She's going to be sharing one of my most favorite strategy that I am still using up to today. Okay, so it's completely free to join. Okay, but you need to secure your spot. Okay, you need to secure your spot quickly, right? So then, what if you want to join? If you want to join this free class, right? I've just shared the link inside the chat over here. You can also scan the QR code that is appearing on the screen right now. Okay, so you can sign up today to learn about it, and this will actually help you to constantly uncover these kind of opportunities, not just all the companies that you see today, many different kind of opportunities, because we have students, we have people that use this framework and they actually find companies that none of the media are talking about. Okay, so just scan the QR code you see on the screen, or you can just click the link in the chat. Okay, click the link in the chat to register. Okay, the next session is just happening tomorrow. Make sure to register quickly. Now, with that, let's move on. Okay, so y'all know, right, that okay, so now we know that there's that difference between the company last time and the company now. So the question is this: are all AI companies profitable? Right? Because y'all saw that, oh, okay, Bjorn, I know that Google, Microsoft are profitable. They're like, oh, we are not in AI bubble. Can we buy other stuff or not? Okay, not yet. Hold your horses. Because the question we want to ask us is this: are all AI companies profitable? Okay, now let's take a look at this. This is the next part. Okay, now this is a news that will happen actually a few weeks ago. All right. Oracle and OpenAI. OpenAI is the company that do ChatGPT. They are a company that created ChatGPT. Oracle is, if you are in a corporate world, you have probably used or seen Oracle before. Most of it are very ingrained to business processes for finance, inventory, every single thing. So Oracle and OpenAI signs a massive 300 billion cloud computing deal. Okay, and they say that the majority of new revenue reviewed by Oracle will come from OpenAI. Okay, now, so Oracle and OpenAI signed $300 billion deal. That means, what does this mean? OpenAI will buy $300 billion worth, okay, $300 billion worth of cloud computing deals from Oracle. Now, I want to show you guys something. I want to show you guys three things. Okay, I want you guys to see whether you all can catch anything or not. Okay, and then let me know whether you all can catch. We do a little exercise. Okay, now this is the first thing that I want you to take. You don't have to say anything yet. Okay, so first number is what? OpenAI promised to spend 300 billion with Oracle. Now, take a look at this. OpenAI annualized revenue hits 10 billion. Okay, this is the first article that I want you to see. Their revenue now is at 10 billion. And what did they say? They are going to spend 300 billion to OpenAI. Okay, this is the first news. Second news I want to share is this. OpenAI expects businesses to burn 115 billion through 2029. Now, so again, they are promising to spend 300 billion to Oracle, right, to pay $300 billion of sales over 5 years. Their revenue now is 10 billion. And they also say they are expected to burn $115 billion in their business. This is the second thing that I want you to see. The third thing I'm going to show you is this. OpenAI raised $8.3 billion, okay, as paid ChatGPT user reaches 5 million. Okay, 8.3 billion in new capital as part of its $40 billion in fundraise. Okay, now these are the three things that I want to share with you. Now, see whether the math makes sense to you or not. Guys, think about it. Okay, OpenAI want to spend $300. OpenAI want to spend $300 with Oracle, but their revenue is 10 billion. That's the first thing. Second thing, they are going to burn 115 billion in the next 5 years. Third thing, they only raised $8.3 billion. And even what they are trying to raise in total is $40 billion in fundraise. You guys find this a bit weird or not? How can they spend $300 with OpenAI? How can they spend $300 with Microsoft when they revenue only 10 billion? When they only raised 8.3 billion? When they are still burning 115 billion? Do you guys find it suspicious or not? If you find it a bit suspicious, can you type sus in the chat? Okay, type SUS. Okay, not really suspicious. If you find it weird, okay, but just type sus in the chat if you find this also a bit weird. Because for me, I find it damn weird. I was like, hey, how can they spend so much money on Oracle when they are not even reaching that level of revenue? If you tell me Nvidia, right? Nvidia going to spend $300 billion in 5 years. But then Nvidia is making like 100 billion in revenue. Okay, that one makes sense. That one totally makes sense. But then, wow, OpenAI how? Okay, so why I'm sharing with you this is because, right, how are they going to pay these $300 billion? Okay, so I'm sharing with you this thing is because I want you all to know that not all AI companies are profitable. Not all of them are profitable. So all of you got to be very, very careful, especially when now, right, in peak euphoria, right, you start to see a lot of people and a lot of people, media or friends or whatever, started to tell you about AI company. And if you really think about it, what does AI actually mean? If you think about the word .com back in 2000, what did that really mean back then? It just meant the internet, but no one had a clue what exactly does .com means. If you really think about it, like no one knows, what does the .com represent and things like that. Now, today, right, as long as any company use the word AI, then suddenly, right, people will start, oh, AI, let me go and pour all my money inside. It's AI, what? But we need to understand, right, one level below. What AI is that? And AI is not just ChatGPT, guys. AI can be a wide variety of things. So we want to understand what is that company doing in terms of AI. Okay? And it's very important to look at their numbers and not just see that the company is AI and then you just throw money inside. No. Well, I tell you, that's the fastest way for you to lose money. That is exactly what happened to the dot-com bubble. That people just plow inside unprofitable companies. Some even think like, oh, it's going to go up forever, and then they buy and they crash 90%. Even Amazon crashed 90% during the dot-com bubble. Okay, so why I want to share with all of you this is this, that even though in today's context there are still opportunities, trust me guys, still have opportunities. One, companies some companies are actually still fairly valued. Of course, if you talk about certain companies like or some of a big tech company, they might be increasingly overvalued. Okay, but most important is they are profitable, because if or when any bubble come or any downturn comes, the only company that will last through then are battle tested companies. Okay, or can all of you type BT in the chat? Okay, type BT in the chat for battle tested. What do I mean by battle tested? That means companies, right, that has already went through like the ups and downs of stock market and still survive. Basically, all the Max 7 is one of them. You know, Amazon, Google, Amazon literally better tested from the dotcom bubble until today. Right. So they all think that in the next thing that happened, would they crash or not? Probably not. Right. Probably they will confirm maybe there's a correction, but would they crash or not? The answer is probably not, because they are better tested, they are profitable. But if you go for companies that are not better tested, that are non-profitable, I tell you, when something hits the fan, SHIT hits the fan, I tell you, that is where your whole portfolio will hit the fan. Right? And then you start to think, wow, why am I so sway one? But actually, it's not you sway. It's just the company. Right? Then later, you're not no confident to invest and things like that. Okay, so this is the takeaway from today that I want you to learn. Okay, only choose better tested companies for your portfolio. Okay, now this is what I want to share, but I got something else to share that is relatable to AI, relatable to what we are seeing in today's industry, but this will apply more to each one of us personally, including myself. But I felt it was very, very important to share with everyone. Okay, so I want all of you to pay attention to this because this next part will be very, very important to you. It will affect you directly. It will also affect your future generations directly. So trust me on this. Okay, so pay attention. Now, okay, so you can see, right, data center construction is at its record high. And why? It is because of the AI boom. More companies are building more data center. Okay, and you can see that from 2015 to 2022, right? It was just moving on a steady pace. But after ChatGPT launch, you started to see that the spending in data center started to increase. There was suddenly a lot of money flowing to AI data center. Okay, so more companies are trying to build all of these data center, because why? They need all of these servers to go and hold all of the GPU, to go and hold all of this semicon stuff, AI stuff to build all of their AI tech system and everything. So you can see there's a lot of money being pushed inside the entire industry and with AI taking the forefront. Now, this is also the US Consumer Price Index. So for those of you who don't know this, right, this is like the measure of inflation. Okay, measure of inflation. Okay, so basically is every inflation, right? Every single year, right? Inflation means how expensive our goods are getting every single year. So for example, last time, you know, when policemen wear shorts, how much is our chicken rice? Our chicken rice probably cost like $1.50, $2. During my time, I remember when I was in Singapore Poly, right? My chicken rice there was like $2. Right. Today, right, if you go to Singapore Poly, you go and buy chicken rice again, minimum $4. Okay, why has it increased? It's all because of inflation. Price of and goods are always increasing over time. Now, gradual inflation is healthy for the economy. Okay, because we are always advancing, it shows economic growth inside. But take a look at the CPI, the actual CPI that has came in since 20 after COVID. So after COVID, right, you know, there was a huge influx of money, right? Because everyone was locked up at home, and then the government decided to give everyone stimulus check, correct, to go and spend. That's why I see the market rally doing that. But what you can see, right, that this 2% is this benchmark that everyone wants to, that the government wants to balance at 2% inflation. But right now, right, even the latest data, the CPI data, right, it is at 4%, 3.1%, but you can see it's 4% annualized CPI. What does it mean? That means, right, the economy is growing. The economy is healthy. Correct or not? Yes, it is above, right? But what does it mean? Why is it above than trend? It means because people are spending a lot. Right, more people are spending, the spendings are very healthy. That's why inflation is higher. Because when more people spend, means more people buy something. More people buy something, right? It means more demand, right? Then the price will increase. So increasing CPI shows that the economy is actually healthy. Of course, if it starts to go like parabolic, then this is where things gets a bit tricky lah. But the thing that I want to show of you here is that economy is healthy. Economy is growing. As you can see from the data center, right? Companies are building all these data centers. So they are still growing. Now, but one thing I want you to take note is this. You see, if the economy is growing, companies are growing, why are jobs opening dropping? Guys, do you start to see a bit funny? How can, if more companies more people are spending, that means more people have more money to spend. Companies are spending, that means they need to hire more people to bring in, right? But then why is jobs opening dropping? And you can see it's since ChatGPT December 2022 that jobs opening are dropping. Why? Cannot be what? If the economy is healthy, more people should be getting hired. Why are jobs opening dropping? And if you look at the news, guys, it gets a bit scary. It's concerning, right? Microsoft cuts hundreds more jobs after firing 6,000 last month. Guys, if Microsoft is spending so much money, AI, they have a lot of money, how come they firing people? Right? Scale AI lays off 200 employees. Okay? Accenture lays off 11,000. This is literally just last week, 1 week ago. Right? So, if then you go and look at other news, these are all the companies that have announced layoff in 2025. Okay? A lot of companies are letting go of people. So yes, like what Andy says, jobs are taken over by AI. Jobs are being gradually taken over by AI. That is a fact of life. That is where we are moving towards to. Okay? So why am I sharing all of you this? Because you can see that even though AI is pushing ahead to the economy, pushing the economy ahead, right? More spending to the AI sector, right? It means that more jobs are getting replaced. That's why you are seeing more people getting retrenched. Hell, I tell you, in 5 years ago, right, software engineers were in demand because everyone was building a tech and all. 5 years later, the same software engineers are facing threats of getting let go because just by using GPT, just by using all these AI tools, you can write a full code. I can write a full code within a day to go and do a Discord bot and things like that, right, for the community, right? So, what does it mean? Is that for all of us here, including you watching this, right, you must adapt or you will get left behind. Okay, you must adapt or you will get left behind. So you must remember this. Because if you don't do that, sooner or later, your job will be taken over by AI. You know, I met a friend last week. He had a friend who are lawyers. And last time he was sharing with me that his lawyer friend that was sharing that they had about like 5 to 6 paralegals. Okay, paralegals are the ones that check the contract and do that kind of like vetting and things like that. They're called paralegals. Now they are letting go all of the paralegals and they're just leaving one person because all of the other stuff can be done by AI. Okay, so if you do not adapt, guys, trust me, you will get left behind. This is also for me. Okay, it's the same as last time. You know, from people that are in the during the 2000s. They didn't want to change. They stick to what they are doing. Okay, so if you know, like if you've been to Clarke Quay, right, Clarke Quay around there, you all will notice, right, at Clarke Quay, still got some rickshaw driver one. Got people, you all got notice or not? If you all got go Clarke Quay before and you all saw those rickshaw driver, just type yes in the chat. Okay, so you know, last time, right, during the olden generation, the 1960s and 50s, you know, these rickshaw drivers are a dime a dozen. There's so many of them, right? They were doing transportation. But over time, as the industrial revolution came about, what happened? Suddenly, people started to take cars, right? People started to transit to cars, and those people who were doing this kind of trishaw thing, right? People started to change. They said, okay, shit, I cannot just use rickshaw anymore. I need to learn how to drive a car. So they upskill. Okay, they decided to go and put the trishaw job aside. They started to learn and upgrade themselves and change to car. But there are some people who say that, no lah, this thing will not happen. Right? It's okay one. Everyone will still need trishaw one day. Right? Those are the people that are still in Clarke Quay, just waiting there for a job under the sweltering sun. but no one is going to them, right? So the question is, do you want to be like them? You cannot, right? So what is that takeaway here, that why I'm sharing this is that all of you, right, including me as well, this is not just, I'm sharing this because I think this is very important, and especially something for you to teach your kids if you have kids in future as well. You got to follow what how the economy is moving and not just stick to what you are good at. You must always, like what Andy says, continue to learn, continue to upgrade your skill sets. Okay, so be it learning about different AI tools, Singapore, there's skill futures, or where you are now, learning how to invest, right? Especially for those of you who have been putting investing on the fence, right? Now is the time for you to learn. Now is the time for you to go and do it. Because I think all of you would one way or the other, right? If you're in your 40s, 50s, or you hear people around you getting retrenched. I'm hearing it more over the past few year, over the past 1 to 2 years. I'm seeing more people getting retrenched. Even CNA did a video about 30-year-old getting retrenched, cannot find a job. So the thing is, right, you cannot think that, oh, my job is secure, I'll never be fired. No, I tell you, that is the thing. If you think that way, you will get left behind, and it will just come to you, right? And then when you try to find a job, I tell you, it's not possible. It'll be very, very hard, right? So what you want to do is to build yourself a lifelong skill. Okay, and one of them is through actually learning how to invest, right? Build a consistent income, right, that doesn't rely on external parties, right? Build a lifelong skill to help you to generate this through investing. A skill that does not depend on a boss, a company, or whether the economy is good or bad. Okay, because when you have this kind of lifelong skill, I can tell you, no one will take it away from you, guys. Whether you are 30, 40, 50, 60, right, you can still apply it. It's like riding a bicycle. Once you know how to ride, you will never forget it. Once you know how to ride, you will never forget it. Okay. So for those of you who wants to be who are still on the fence about of it, right? So like what I shared earlier about if you want, I'm going to flash it one more time. Okay. For those of you who are looking to start, right, or you just want to go and learn something, right, go and listen to this, go and join this Buffett Accelerator framework lah. Okay, go in. I'm not saying this just because I want you to go and like sell you something. I don't care about that. I want you to do this so you can develop a lifelong skill for yourself. Okay, so this is what I want to share for you. Now, one last thing, guys. Add me on Facebook. Okay, add me on Facebook over here. You can scan the QR code right over here, or I'm going to send my profile over here also in the chat. Okay, so why add me on Facebook? Because on Facebook, I share a lot of thoughts as well. I share a lot of things, market updates, life mindset, and even, today what I share with you about AI stuff, that's something that I'll also share sooner rather than later. So add me on Facebook, guys. I'm very friendly one. I won't buy. So you just see Facebook, add me as a friend. I tell you, I'll accept immediately. Okay, so so again, remember to summarize everything that we went through today, for the AI, whether we are in a bubble or not, I don't think so. But it's also very important to know that you also want to be a bit careful to not just deploy your money to all sorts of companies that you see today, right? You must make sure that you protect your downside and not throw it to like companies that are totally unprofitable, not making money, because you will definitely lose money the fastest by doing that. So that is the first thing. Second thing as well, I've shown you how to look at companies that are profitable or not. Very simple, very straightforward. If they are listed company, you can go and use financial websites to go and see it very easily. And last is adapt or get left behind. Okay, so make sure you take the time to develop these skills. Don't wait until it's too late. Really, don't wait until it's too late. Sometimes, right, it's like for lack of a better example, right, it's like sometimes, when you are when maybe you feel like your body is a bit higher, you feel like got something a bit wrong with your body and then you say, never mind let me just wait and see what happens. Sometimes by the time you wait and see, you go to the doctor, right, I tell you, it'll be too late. So don't be a reactive person. Be someone that is very active, that is always looking to protect your downside regardless what happens. Because if you ask me today, right, if anything happens to me today, if let's say I am out of a job, I'm not doing anything, right? Okay, what do I have? I have this. I have a lifelong skill that don't rely on anything. Okay. And another thing is, if you think that it's too late for me to start investing, take that mindset off your head. It's never too late. To me, right, if someone says that I think I'm too late to investing, to me, it's just an excuse. We have people, I've met people who are 70 years old. 70 years old, guys. Just retired, 70 years old, already drawing money from the retirement account, still willing to learn. So what is your excuse? There's no excuse, right? There will be no excuse. Okay, we don't know what we don't know. Okay, and if you're the smartest person in the room, if you think you are very smart already, I got something to share with you. You are not. Okay, I am not smart as well. Okay, there's a saying I like to say: if you are the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. The whole idea of it is continuous learning lah. Okay, so I hope that you have enjoyed this session. I hope that this has helped taken away for all of you. So for those of you who are in the community, feel free to just share your wins and reflections in the Discord channel. I would love to see them because I think this is something that it'll be good for everyone to learn as well. And yes, guys, let's open the floor for some Q&A. Okay, let's open the floor for some Q&A. And just type in the chat. I'll be more than happy. We have some time here. Any questions, guys? This is like today, in the next 15 minutes, you got me live right at your doorstep, right over there. So you have any questions, come and ask me. Okay, I promise you, I will not tell you some hype words or try to smoke you through. I promise you, I'll just tell you straight for what I'm thinking, no filter one. Okay, so if any questions, just feel free to ask me. Okay, so let me stop share screen so you can see my face. Okay, so first question is by Demure Mangosteen. Learn from a top-down approach. Learn what is in demand in job portals. Very good. That is a very good way to see where are people hiring. All right. Learn from that top-down approach and see in terms of, it can be in your industry, it can be in a different industry. The whole idea, right, is to see where are people hiring more. Okay. Another thing, right, is you ask yourself, right, in any sector, right, whether the jobs that people are doing now, that you are doing now, right, is it replaceable by AI easily or not? For example, let's say people that are doing graphics artists that does graphics for their job. What do y'all think? Do y'all think it's replaceable or not? Yes or no? Just type in the chat. Do y'all think graphics artist jobs are replaceable? Type in the chat, yes or no. If you ask me, I think yes, because from right now, even though we are not like in the crazy stages of our AI, right? ChatGPT and other language models, they can generate wonderful images straight away, just like that. And we are already seeing not just graphics artists, we are already seeing actual videos. Like videos, last time you need people, you need equipment, you need time, you need editor, everything to edit the video. Right now, with AI, right, you don't actually need it at all. You don't believe me, right? You go and see Sora AI. Okay, you don't believe me, you go and see Sora AI, right? So is that crazy? Okay, now joking hazard. Hi Bjorn, question: since October rate cut is close to 100% and SPY, is it a boom? Isn't it a bull market? Joking hazard instead of AI bubble? Yes, of course. It might possibly be the start of a bull market. So people might saying, oh, we are not in a bull market yet. Okay, it's possible, right? It can be, right? Like I said, right, I don't think we are in an AI bubble. I don't think. But it is a fact, right? If you do the valuations of all of these tech companies, that some of them are expensive. That is a fact, lah. If you actually do have how they can generate the free cash flow, some of them are overvalued. Not all, but some of them. Okay, so yeah, so that is something important to know lah. Okay, that it might be a bull market, because another thing is also that after the SPY, actually the rate cuts, right, and then the Federal Reserve did the rates, there has been news, right, that actually says that the government shutdown. Sorry, what am I saying? Not rate cuts, government shutdown. There have been data that says that after a government shutdown, right? Okay, after a government shutdown, 12 months later, the SPL will be at higher prices. Okay, it will be at higher prices lah. So to me, right, that's why some people are afraid there's a bubble. I don't think it's a bubble lah. And I've always adopted the same approach in the companies I see. I don't let media news, and you shouldn't also let media news dominate your headline on when to invest or not. Yeah, it shouldn't be the one that do it lah. Okay, so I think that is very important to differentiate that lah. And that's why I still say, right, the most important thing is to look at companies that are fair value. That is the most important things. right, that are reasonable and has potential, that, you know, if let's say things happen, right, they will still continue to do. I think that is the most important thing that we want to look for. Okay. Now, anyone got any questions or not? Wow, no one got any questions for me. Wow, guys, this is a rare opportunity. I only do live like once every 3-4 weeks. Yo, this is your opportunity to ask me any questions. Some even people want to ask me about what I think about AMD and things like that. Okay. So I see that even tracks also say AMD. Yeah, AMD is up 37%. AMD is up 37% already. So yeah, I don't have a position in AMD, sadly. Okay, I don't have a position in AMD. Now, anyone else have any questions or not? Okay, and how many of you got position is AMD one? Let me know. I only have NVIDIA. What do I think about gold prices? Very interesting questions. Thanks, Lee Wen. Okay, so for gold, right? Just to share a bit of context, generally speaking, when stock market goes up, gold will actually drop. Okay. Interestingly, when stock market goes up, gold will actually drop. But what we are seeing now is that the gold is actually going up together with the stock market. That's what we are seeing now. So then the question is, why? How come? Now, here's my thought. My thought is that with more money, with cryptocurrency, you know, like Bitcoin and Ethereum, Solana, so on and so forth, right? Taking the main stage, and especially with Trump doing the tariff thing, it is affecting the value of the US dollar. If you see the US dollar, right, year to date, the US dollar is actually down 10%. Okay, it's down 10%. But the stock market and gold is going up. So why is this happening? It's because, right, tariffs are going to make goods more expensive. When goods becomes more expensive, right, it becomes more expensive to transact in USD. So people might decide, I don't want to hold so much USD already, because it's so expensive to go and buy things from the US, right? They might go and source from other places to import inside. They might go and source from other places. They might go and sell to other companies. So then people will actually, the value of the US dollar will drop. So this is also an effect of the tariffs that is happening. Okay. And where do they put the money? If that is happening, they have to put in alternative assets, right? That are like stable yielding, right? So one of it is gold. The other one is crypto. That's why I think that you can see gold has been rallying this year. Crypto has been rallying this year. Bitcoin just hit its all-time high like yesterday as well. Okay. So if you ask me where do I think about gold prices? I would like to say it will go down, but honestly, I would tell you I have no idea about gold now, because it's moving at a different thing as how stocks will go. And it's dependent on US dollar. So if the US dollar improves, right, I think that gold will probably start not to climb a lot. And also take note, very interestingly, right, there's a lot of eyes and a lot of people talking about gold now. It's because of they recently ran up a lot in the past year. But if you realize, gold actually from 2020 to 2024, actually they have been moving sideways, right? So be careful of the narrative that you're following, or people saying that it's time to buy gold, right? Always remember to portfolio size lah. I think that's the most important. Okay. Yeah, AY also say gold to USD drop, USD up. Yeah, so a bit funny one lah. But for me, I don't do currency. I do companies, because currency to me is speculation. Gold I think is good for hedging lah, right? If you just want some gold, I think that's totally fine lah. Okay, Karen, hi Karen, nice to see you again. What do I think of Adobe? Okay, very interesting question. I think Adobe, right, is a company that will continue to do very, very well, right? The only thing is right now is downtrending very badly lah. The whole reason is because people are saying that they are not very prompt with the AI side of things. That's why they are going down now. And it's true, they are, based on their numbers, they are getting better, but they are not shown in terms of their investments in AI how it's doing or not lah. So what do I think of Adobe? I think for Adobe, right, we want to make sure, and the price movement is not looking good lah. So we want to see the price breakout of its downtrend first, right, and see them actually have actual the numbers continue to grow, and see that they are actually putting investment into the AI side. Okay, because now there isn't any lah. If you hear the news, right, it's only the main few that are dominating the space. Adobe is a bit quiet. It's a bit like Apple, a bit quiet. That's why I see Apple price also not moving a lot lah. It's for the same reasons. But are they a high quality company? Yes, they are. Are their numbers growing? Yes, they are. And I've also speak to some of my friends who are in the space, right? They tell me Adobe is the industry standard. It is still the industry standard. Okay. Singapore bonds. Well, Singapore bonds, if you're asking me what I think about them, I think that they are a better place to put your money, lah. Right? Singapore bonds give you 2%, and then when interest rate drops, right, bond price will also drop as well. So I mean, if you want to put like just to beat inflation, sure, but honestly, there's way better place for you to put your money. Okay, can we continue to buy? Mike, I wish I can give you the actual idea lah. Okay, but I will tell you say I have no idea, right? I cannot be the one that give you the idea, because if I tell you say can, right, then what, you just buy me? Cannot be what, right? It's your money what. No one cares about your money more than you as well. What I can share with you is, number one, look at whether Nvidia is suitable to your portfolio now. Okay, that's number one. Number two, ask yourself, are you buying this for a trade or long term? Right. So this is very important, because a lot of people think to buy like one whatever price, right? And then find the $5 later they want to sell already. Right. If you really want to make a lot of money in the long term, you want to like really hold into solid positions. That's number two. Number three, right? Go into Nvidia's valuation. All right. Go and look at their valuations, right? And you must understand the whole idea of why I'm telling you to do all this is to build conviction. When you do the valuations, okay, when you do the valuations, right, you will know whether is it fair, whether there's room to run up or not lah for Nvidia lah. Okay, so I think that's what I wanted to share. I think Nvidia is a great company, but definitely yes lah. Like all AI companies now, they are definitely a bit on the a bit on the high side lah. But it's not just Nvidia; it's like the whole industry, even the SPY as well. So be just take note lah. I think it's still a great company. If you tell me the next 5 to 10 years, I think it will do amazingly well as well. I love Jensen Huang. Jensen Huang, he's the CEO of Nvidia. One of his favorite quote is this: "I wish you pain and suffering." Very funny guy. Why pain and suffering is because that through pain and suffering, then you will grow lah. So that's something that I like to share as well. All right, anyone got any more questions for me? I have 3 more minutes. 3 more minutes, guys. Okay, 3 more minutes. Well, what an interesting thing that's happening to AMD. Very, very interesting thing. Holly, yes, of course. No problem. Of course, you can. No problem. That is actually a wonderful idea. That is actually a very good option. Okay? Anyone else have any questions? Feel free to ask me, my friends, if you have any questions. Okay, feel free to ask me if you have any questions. All right. But if you guys have no questions, don't worry. Okay. If you just leave the comment down in YouTube below, feel free to just type there. I'll be sure to reply when I see it the next time. Okay. And I hope that you have enjoyed today's lesson. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channels. Okay, because we have a lot of live that are coming out every single week. Like this Wednesday, we have a live. Almost every Monday and Wednesday, we have a live. Okay, and it's all for all of you to benefit from all of this knowledge and really tap in our brains as well. Okay, so do that. Okay, joking. Leap call for AMD should close today. Up to you. Really up to you. You feel that it's suitable for you to take profit, go ahead. No one ever blame you from taking profit. You take profit, you feel good, whatever. But the thing is, if you continue goes up, just accept it lah. Right? This is the decision that you chose to make. Right? If you don't want to take, you hold to December, something happens, same thing. You just have to own the decision. But whichever way you do, right, I think that you won't go wrong. That's what I think lah. Right? But just have to make peace with the decision that you make lah. Okay, joking hazard. All right, guys. Thank you all for spending your Monday evening with me. I hope you have a wonderful evening ahead. And again, don't go crazy. Okay, don't just end up like going crazy and started to buy a lot of shares, buy a lot of AMD especially. Just be a bit more careful. Okay, remember, no one cares about money more than you. And also, patience builds wealth. Okay, and make sure to add me on Facebook if you haven't. Okay, just search my name, Bjorn Ng, and you'll be able to see my name on Facebook. All right, so have a good evening, and I wish you guys a happy rest of the week. Okay.